Welcome to episode 2 of Game Idea Talk. Today I present to you a game I would like to call Bound to Life. What is it all about? Well, you see it on the screen, basically. Okay, what does this nice wallpaper on the left and the creature in the middle have to do with each other? And what on earth is a little annoying kid from Pokemon in there for? Well, obviously that summarizes the idea of Bound to Life. It is basically an adventure and action game like Pokemon. Just more mature and less childish. And sorry, no playing with balls in that one. Let's face it, Pokemon teaches us that it's perfectly normal to trap innocent animals into a ball just to let them attack other poor creatures and enslave them as well. That being said, of course it's normal to let our 10-year-old children run for that particular task through the world all on their own. Well, to capture animals and also to run a statistic about them that they call Pokédex, an evil trigger that prevents us from knowing all the hundreds of them until we enslave them. I don't know if it's the way I say it or not, but the game is pretty ruthless and mean, all the while telling us to treat our Pokemons as friends. Yeah, right. Still, millions of people enjoy playing it, for good reason. I myself played it many years ago. And if the games coming out wouldn't be entirely repetitive and with only minor changes every time, heavy greetings to Electronic Arts at this point, I would probably still play one of these. Well, or emulate them like everyone on YouTube does. But what is Bound to Life all about? Well, simply said, it combines the ruthless horror and action of Diablo with the cute catch-em-all of Pokemon. Sounds weird? Think about it. In both games we love to collect items or creatures, we attack and defeat others, and frankly, we love to master the game, calling ourselves a winner. So let's up the ante and explain the game. In Bound to Life, our protagonist has the option to collect demon-like creatures in a 3D nice graphics world, very much as hostile as Diablo, Planescape Torment, or any standard fantasy or horror shooter like Alien or Doom. The technique and setting, however, is fairly simple. Humans can attach up to 8, yes, not 6 but 8, creatures to themselves. Attach how, you ask? Well, simple, to their life. Because now we are no longer just letting our creatures suffer, we suffer with them. The Bounder, yes, I intentionally use this word to describe any human that has this ability, will take damage whenever one of his creatures falls in battle and suffers a loss. Because all the creatures a player may possess are connected, the so-called bound process, directly to the player's life. Therefore, any random battle against creatures in the wild or against other bounders, a system we may copy from Pokemon, will cost us life and energy, ultimately leading to us dying in the battlefield, no pun intended, and watching the game over screen. However, we are not entirely helpless. Our creatures don't die at an instant, they are tough after all the training we give them, mostly rough training. Because only after our creatures lose all their life points will they fall in battle, and only if then we lose too much life points as a player will the bound, the connection to our creatures, inevitably break, leading to the death of our creature. You didn't see that in Pokemon, did you? Let's be honest, creatures are everywhere. Demon-like dogs, fairies, harpies, lizardmen, skeleton, dragons or toad mages, they all come to life in Bound to Life, and they all can become much more powerful through harsh training. But if they die, well, so may be it. We use their corpses to feed other creatures, why not? After all, our creatures have not just life points but also attributes like speed, strength or dexterity, practically copying the standard RPG system. More than that, they have a timer for how much sleep, rest and food and water they need, depending on their very nature of course. No, we don't copy the fire beats plant, plant beats water, etc. style. Pure power and skills matter in this game. It's a tough game made for adults, not 10 years old. But how does this actually work? GUI-wise, we have up to 4 little images of our creatures on either side of the screen showing us their health and stamina. A mouse over will show their additional needs like food or water rest. An icon symbolizes if they are currently unleashed. That means that they are apparent physically in our world. Let's face it, a screen full with up to 8 rare demons would annoy the hell out of us. So if we don't need them, we call them back, just like in Pokemon. Wait, call back without Pokeballs? Yeah, why not? We have items to bound them to us. Oh, didn't I mention? Well, as bounders, we need to collect certain items, the bracelets, gloves or armors we use to bound creatures to us. Ultimately, only 8 creatures can be bound to us, but we do possess items that may vary our creatures' abilities. If we have a magic glove of ice shield to bound a simple Orc-hound to us, well, this Orc-hound may be who it is, but also have a 5% resistance against ice elemental attacks. Did you think I would miss out on Diablo's most striking features, the item attributes? Of course, some items are more rare than others or even unique. Let's say a rare boss item allows for a 5% fast experience gain of our creature. Wouldn't you bound a tough creature to it rather than a little pixie that may never be any useful against strong opponents? As you can imagine, there are numerous opportunities in such a game, a huge variety of creatures of all fantasy worlds, including their appearances in DLCs, a world in a dark setting where everyone struggles and only the tough succeed, and the hunt for rare items and creatures in a perhaps open world. Story-wise, you can write practically anything. Seriously, neither Diablo nor Pokemon had a very striking story. And the fact that you as a player appear in a 3D fighting environment... Oh, didn't I mention how forgetful I am today? Of course, since this game is made in 3D, perhaps a Dark Souls graphic style is more appropriate than Super Mario, unless you want to attract 10 years old again. You, as playable hero, well, or bounder, are in the middle of the battlefield whenever a creature appears. The system is not like in Pokemon where the screen shakes and the Pikachu appears. It is more like in Dark Souls where creatures simply exist in the map. So hunt them or be hunted. If you die, the game is over. Hopefully you're saved in a settlement nearby. Therefore, you will direct only the player at all times, moving, jumping, perhaps even climbing. But your creatures appear only if you call them. Their stamina reduces over time if they are out for too long, leading to a decrease in their permanent maximum health. That means you call them out only to fight or feed, of course. When they appear, a string between the bounder and the creature is visibly apparent to signify their connection. The string also shows whenever your creature, that battles mostly on own instincts by the way, takes damage, since you take some of the damage yourself. Naturally, that means that you gain experience whenever your creature gets some, and therefore you could level up yourself in the classic Dark Souls style. Well, still you need to move around the character of your bounder, since creatures in the wild or in a battle against other bounders may attack you directly at all times. And let's face it, you are a mere human after all, so you should avoid being hit by a 4-meter tall demon or a poisonous spider. Especially the later, since a poison status that you may have be attached to your creatures in battle and vice versa. Now, you certainly can imagine the complexity and action behind such a fighting system. You start small and with few creatures, but at the end you may very well fight with 8 creatures against a strong boss opponent like a dragon, naturally trying to catch the dragon for yourself. Well, how so if you already possess 8 creatures and there is no bill storage in Bound to Life? Simple, either one of your creatures dies in battle, this will happen very often through the game, or you let it die. Force it to fight beyond its skills against strong opponents, like the aforementioned dragon, or simply unbound it. This unbounding means nothing less but you releasing your creature, forcing it to die at that, with no damage for you other than having 1 creature less. But hey, I would give up a Basilisk level 15 for a dragon level 50 anytime. Who cares about them dying? It's not like you didn't see creatures die before. For as long as you are alive and reach your goals, everything is fine, right? You didn't worry about all the creatures you killed on your way just to get their dead body. Oh wait, this I didn't mention either? Shame on me. Of course a dead dragon has bones, a dead lizard meant some meat on his bones, and a dead unicorn a valuable horn to sell. After all, you do need to feed your creatures. Why not their beaten opponents? Makes sense to me not to waste a dead body. Apparently, you should look for meat in a skeleton mage. Oh, and a poisonous spider may not be all that tasty either. You get the idea. Collect creatures or kill them, and sell or food their loot. Or use it for your own creatures. Anyhow, if you beat another bounder, naturally you should be dead in most situations. And who would fight a friendly match with demon-like creatures, seriously? Loot his body, I wonder if we should feed it to our creatures, and take his belongings. Money? Yeah. A rare item? Oh yeah. Perhaps he died before his last creature, well then take it hostage. Or beat it up just for the experience. Your choice. Well, you can imagine all the fun with this rather rough game. It's not for weak-minded people, this catch-em-all. That's it for this week. Last week we talked about the industry and about A Magician's World. Today about Bound to Life. And next week, well, without spoilers, I can say that next week we will try to speak to the artist in ourselves. Have fun, leave a comment, your ideas and opinions on this game, and of course, let's see who actually produces this game. See you at another time at Game Idea Talk.